Hey everyone, today we're talking about copywriting mechanisms. Every campaign you write needs something that makes it stand out from the rest, or what's going to happen is it'll blend into the market, it'll blend into competitors, and ultimately that means making no money. But if you understand unique mechanisms, you can take any product, service, or campaign and make it deeply fascinating for any target audience, and that'll make it stand out from everything else on the market and generate more conversions and revenue. But what is a unique mechanism? So a unique mechanism is going to be a product, feature, benefit, or some kind of concept that becomes the centerpiece of the campaign. It's the main focus. And normally this is going to be something that makes it stand out from everything else on the market. And that's why there's two ways to find a mechanism. The first is the most obvious and the easiest way, and that's looking at the product or service you're advertising and pinpointing exactly what makes it better or different than anything else on the market. It might be proprietary technology, certain ingredients, very specific features, benefits. And sometimes if you do have something proprietary, then yeah, it's really obvious and quick to find a mechanism. But what if there's nothing necessarily unique or crazy about the product? Well, in that case, which is probably going to be most situations, what you have to do is take something very understated about the product and then focus on that and bring it to the forefront, because there can be dozens or hundreds of businesses that have this same product, feature, or benefit, but because they aren't bringing it to the forefront and really exaggerating it, instantly you stand out. But let's take a look at some examples and you'll understand what I mean. This is an advertisement written by the legend Claude Hopkins for the brand Schlitz beer. And at the time, Schlitz needed help from Claude to increase their sales and stand out from all the other beer brands at the time. Now here's a pretty cool part of the story. So Claude actually received a tour of the facilities where they're making the beer. And at the time, something all the beer brands were talking about in their advertising was about how pure the beer was. But the thing was, a lot of the manufacturers thought it was too boring to explain how they actually purified the beer, and every other company essentially did the exact same thing. Exactly why Claude actually made that into the unique mechanism for one of their ads, where they actually talked about in depth about how they purified the beer, how they sterilized it. Because Schlitz was the only brand to really focus on this in their advertising, they stood out, drastically increased their sales, and they're the only beer brand that was essentially talking about the purification process, which made consumers think they were the best pure beer brand. That's a pretty cool example, but I also want to talk about another one that's really famous, and this is an ad written by David Ogilvy for Rolls-Royce. And in fact, I actually have it in my desk in my office because it's such an amazing ad, and I was taking some notes on it. But it is one of the most famous ads and headlines of all time, so if you've done any kind of advertising or copywriting, odds are you've probably seen it at some point, because this ad was talking about one of the Rolls-Royce cars they were selling, and it has the famous headline, "At 60 miles an hour, the loudest thing in this new Rolls-Royce comes from the electric clock," aka the comfort and the luxury is unmatched. And the rest of the ad actually goes into point by point about why this car is better than anything else on the market. They compare it to Bentley, and they go over tons of other mechanisms and value propositions. So next time you're writing copy and you're trying to find a value proposition or just make the ad stand out, you need a mechanism, something that you can center the ad around, even if it's just in the headline or a portion of the ad, to make it stand out from all the other products just like it. And once again, you can start off with something proprietary. That'd be the easiest way, because no one can match that or compete with it because only you have it. It might be technology, ingredients, and it can actually be something very, very small. Don't be afraid to go after a very small detail about a product and bring that to the forefront. But if there isn't necessarily anything proprietary about the product or service, then what you should do is take something very understated and exaggerate that. If you want to learn more about copywriting and these type of strategies, go into the description and get my free courses, go to my website and read my blog to learn more about these things. But other than that, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.